Damn, that was cold, but don't you worry. We have enough Michael Bay explosions and utter insanity to warm your little heart and make sure it doesn't freeze up on us anytime soon as we shoot, slide, and kick our way into the Bulletstorm. Hit the music, boys.
10 fathoms deep on the road to hell.
Bulletstorm was a return to form in so many ways, and it was way ahead of its time in that regard. It came before the boomer shooter resurgence led by Dusk and the geniuses over at New Blood, also known for Medieval, Fallen Aces, and many other greats. People Can Fly returned to the FPS world and somehow topped the crazy physics of Painkiller. FPS is in their DNA with Unreal and Painkiller, so it only made sense. They really pushed the boundaries and garnered a stupid amount of love, yet the reviews were pretty middling at best. I guess that's kind of how this game built this kind of cult following. It's like a B-grade movie with a small budget that got kind of hidden in the direct-to-DVD release section. But it's so much more than that, with so much more money and love poured into it than it ever gets credit for. Blows my mind sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. And this game has been released so many times on Xbox 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, even re-released on PS5 and Series X/S, and it's even in VR now, which by the way is really fun. It may not be the best way to play it, I'd say the modern console releases are better, but it's pretty great. Oh, and I can't forget, it's also on the Switch. Yet we haven't even seen the slightest hint at a sequel. Not even a little bit. It makes no sense to me. With how many times this game has been re-released, how much of a cult following it has, how many people are out there saying on the daily that they would love to support it, doesn't make any sense to me. The reason Bulletstorm was a return to form is because it brought back the absurdity of the 80s and 90s action movies, mixed with the comic-like characters and build engine era humor, except it pushed it as far as you possibly could. It brought back fast, brutal, and crazy gameplay, but was oddly glued to the ground, which I never understood. There's no jumping, just vaulting and mantling over things. I really don't get it, and it has to like hold down the button to run like Gears of War. It was such a choice, and I don't really know why they made that one. It always felt like some weird holdover from Gears of War, which made it feel like a weird alternative universe spinoff where they decided to go first person. Even with all of that, it was very much its own thing, and really stood apart from anything you played then, and honestly, pretty much anything you'll play now. Nothing feels quite like Bulletstorm, from both just tonally, the dialogue, the characters, and just the brutality of it all. Because Bulletstorm is pure, unadulterated stupidity and immature absurdity. It's not afraid of saying or doing anything, and it certainly isn't for the easily offended.
Probability of survival.
That fucking computer in your skull needs some antidepressants.
If you're gonna jump into this FPS experience, you need to understand it's a roller coaster ride of chaotic fun, and none of it really makes sense, and it really doesn't need to because it's an action flick that's playable. So you just need to grab a beer, an energy drink, and a bunch of crunch and enjoy the ride. Bulletstorm may not play like a classic FPS, but it has the spirit through and through. It's designed to be fun for the sake of fun. It's fast and it's funny. It ages like fine wine in my opinion, and only gets more absurd every year that passes. It's one of those things that more than likely won't ever get made again, and that sucks, but at least we have what we have. It's truly an FPS of the past, and I'm sure many would love for it to stay that way. But others such as myself are going to spread the good word for those who love a good laugh and don't mind a bit of irreverent humor.
Come on, sweet baby! Take what I give you, gene trash!
It has an impressive arsenal of weapons, and even has a quad-barreled shotgun for that quad damage you need in every fight. The weapons just add to the fun factor that is the skill system and the leash. Pulling enemies your way, then blasting them back with a shotgun into a cactus, kicking them into shrapnel for a sweet impelling end that would make Vlad proud? Weapons have secondary shots that just keep ramping up the levels of crazy, like the pistol that shoots a rocket and makes the enemies fly off into a firework-like explosive death. I mean, it really doesn't get more fun than this game. Bulletstorm is a wild ride, a true to its name storm of bullets, exemplified by the blood, guts, and gore that follows in the wake of your carnage-filled campaign of destruction. And what a ride it is, in any way you choose to play it. If you like this kind of thing, then you're truly going to have a once-in-a-lifetime experience here. And it will be a short and bloody one at that. But replaying on harder difficulties and unlocking unlimited ammo is a fun treat you don't see much anymore. This brings episode 2 of FPS of the Past to a close, and I'd like to shout out my Patreon supporters. Thanks to Osh and High Functioning Medium for all the love and support. You all should check out the Quad Damage podcast on YouTube, where myself and 2 others, Robert and High Functioning Medium, talk with game developers and YouTube personalities about FPS games of the boomer shooter variety and beyond. It will all be linked in the description below, and with that, thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next one.